a machine with a cable, or we use the hammer machine, which is available today, which I don't have in my gym. So I was able to put some weight on there. Again, keeping the legs out of the motion. I had Eric give me a spot where I could really get that pull and that contraction at the bottom, where I tried to hold it for maybe a 1 count and get that deep contraction in the lower lats while get that stretch at the top. And finish with a few sets of that one, pretty heavy up to 3 plates on each side. We next rolled over to reverse grip, 1-arm dumbbell rows, which now my focus is my lower lats. I'm trying to get more lower lat fitness since I already have all the width. I'm trying to get that deep lower back, bring out that deep Christmas tree. So instead of doing the common 1-arm motion with a dumbbell where we can go extremely heavy, I reverse grip and allowed a little more arch to the back and pull with the lower lats, which is going to pull and give that lower back detail for next season. So we just incorporated those towards the end of my prep in 2009, and we finished with a few sets there. Of course, not going as heavy. I think I only went up to about 110. Still working on getting the feel of that movement, so it's just a little alternative exercise for you guys out there that are trying to bring up your lower lats. Okay, so next we actually rolled over to reverse grip, bent barbell rows, which again we're trying to focus on the lower lats. And as you see, we did those also reverse grip, but we had a pause at the top. I focused more on getting that contraction. Really strict movements. Try not to bounce too much with the legs. You see my former videos. You watch me train. I'm definitely in a different standing motion pattern than I have in the past, where it was just ballistic to try to get the weight up, bouncing with the legs and just throwing the weights around. Now we're trying to really bring out that strict contraction and work that detail, because that's what I need to focus on to improve my back for next year. So there's no question, once again, that I've become the best in the world. So we did a few sets there, went up to 315. Finished with only 6 repetitions, but like I said, my rep range is a lot lower than past. That's why this DVD is a little different, a little more stricter on the weights. And this is allowing more of that deep fiber to be firing, and also that dense muscle. Training with the lower reps and keeping the weight heavy and more contraction, it's going to cause that deep muscle tissue to contract and also get that dense muscle look. So I'm going to have a thicker, rounder look. So we finished with a few sets there, went up to 315. Next we rolled over to the overhead dumbbell extension, basically a pullover for our lats, where once again we focused on gripping the handle on the dumbbell like this instead of like this, because that allows it to pull the lats. We did 3 sets there, not really focused on crazy weights, because we want to pull with the lats, not with everything else. So we were able to get the lats stretched back out, and of course we did some deadlifts in there. Went up to 4 plates on those. I always try to keep my reps between 6 and 8. I think I did 7 on some, 6 on other. I don't think I did 8 on too many, but just trying to feel it, just trying to use mostly back and keep the hips and a lot of glutes out of it. So you notice my movement is very slow and precise. I actually come down to the floor, I let the weight sit for a count of 1, and then I pull it back up, so basically the tension is drawn right back to my back, pulling the weight off the floor. Did a few sets there, pretty heavy, but that back firing, and of course we finished with seated cable rows. Once again, trying to get the last few reps where I had Eric spot me to get a really good squeeze. Not trying to focus on too much weight. I mean, we did the weight stack, but really just trying to get that contraction, keep that blood in there, and allow the lower lats to fire, and get that thickness to the back with a close grip handle. We chose the close grip. Sometimes we go a little wider, but tonight was focused on pretty much close grip. 3 sets there, and then of course the overhead rope extension. We got a good arch to the back, focusing on dragging the lower lats in. So my goal for 2010 is to create that illusion. So I'm trying to get my lats to expand out a little lower, which is going to give my waist the illusion of being smaller, and of course the bigger flair to my legs, which we'll continue to work on the legs with heavy movements there to get that extra flair. we're going to have quite a package in 2010. So always seem to finish off with a rope movement or a straight bar, what we call a hyperextension, which brings out those lower lats and gets that stretch out of lats. I try to step away from the machine apparatus quite a bit so I can get that deep stretch at the top, coming down and arch that back and drag that Christmas tree back. So we have that deep detail once we peel it all down for the competition again. And we dominate the stage here in 2010. So that's pretty much my back training. We did a lot of sets. Pretty tired, and it's the end of a long day. And fortunately, here in Venice, California, we have access to the best equipment. So it's good change of pace being here instead of Las Vegas. I like to come back and forth and train with, of course, great partners. We had Eric, of course, here, and we had Mehmet, who is training over here. He lives in France, but he's training here for the Ironman Pro in 2010. So he was able to join us today, and I think we wiped him out pretty good. So that's what we do. That's what we do here in the USA, and of course sometimes it goes in Venice. Eric will tell me he kills it every day, but there ain't no killing like we do in Las Vegas. So until next time.